Is it the little things or the big things in life that get us? It's the little things. We see the big things coming. It's the little things that fly under radar, the things that we don't see until they happen, that throw us for a loop, that can cause a lot of problems in our lives. I mean, I'll give you a quick example of that. Let's say that I need surgery. So I find a doctor and he agrees to do surgery. So he does the surgery, does a fantastic job, sends me back to the recovery room, sends me back to my room, and says I'll be out of the hospital the next day. It's amazing what medicine can do now, getting you into major surgery and out the next day. So he did his job. He did the big thing. But let's say somebody forgot the little thing. Let's say somebody in housekeeping, somebody in food services forgets to wash their hands. Seems like a little thing as compared to the surgery, but if they forget to wash their hands, I could get an infection. And those of you that have experienced it or have known people who have experienced it, getting an infection in the hospital can put you there for weeks. So a little thing turns into a big thing. And it's not just at the hospital, it's in our everyday lives. Let me give you an example. Powers of attorney. These are documents that we have so that if bad things happen to us or our loved ones, we're able to still handle their affairs. For example, if my spouse is incapacitated, I'll still be able to get access to their IRA, their 401k, or their accounts so that we can use that money to help us through those bad times. If I don't have that power of attorney, then I have no access to my spouse's IRA, and that can cause a real problem in people's financial lives and everyday lives. And the reason I bring this up is you need a power of attorney, but many people have a power of attorney, and they think they've done their job, and they have. But here's the problem. In the last couple of years, banks and brokerages, the people who have your IRAs or your 401ks, have found little technicalities that will allow them to prevent you from accessing that money. So even though you'll have a perfectly legal power of attorney, they will still reject that perfectly legal power of attorney. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Because do you ever use the power of attorney to deposit money into an IRA or to take money out of an IRA? You use it to take money out of an IRA. So they have every reason to want to reject your power of attorney. And the little technicalities they found is they said, oh, listen, we don't know if this is the actual power of attorney. So we don't want to be sued, so we're not going to accept it. So here you have a perfectly legal power of attorney and they won't accept it. So now what do? You have to go to court. You have to hire an attorney. So now to get access to your own money, that's crazy. But they're doing it every day now. Every day they do that. So how crazy is that? You now have to spend time and money to get access to your own money when you have a perfectly legal power of attorney that they will not honor. Because they don't want to let go of your money. They've forgotten whose money it is. And here's the thing. Then why aren't attorneys talking about this? Well, I don't know. Let's think about this. You pay them to do the power of attorney, and then if the banks and brokerages don't honor it, who do you have to pay again? Think about it. So how angry would you be when you thought you had your affairs in order, you thought you had your power of attorney, and you march into the bank, you march into your broker, and they won't honor your power of attorney? You did your work, but they're playing games with your money. That's crazy. And it doesn't stop there with your power of attorney. Did you know that the Social Security Administration, the Veterans Administration, and the IRS will not honor your power of attorney unless you have specific language that they require in that power of attorney? And what do you think the likelihood that the Social Security Office, the Veterans Administration, the IRS, all government agencies all use the same language? You're right, they don't. It's all three separate languages. And guess how many powers of attorney have any one of these languages, let alone all three? Virtually none. And you will need your power of attorney to deal with the Social Security Office or the Veterans Administration or the IRS if a spouse becomes incapacitated. And if you don't, you're back to the courts, you're back to the hiring an attorney. See, it's these little things that can really get you. So when I was researching this for my clients, being a financial advisor, I found what's called a 21-point checklist. And it's things that are going to disappoint you, irritate you, and make you darn right angry when you look at these things that have been forgotten. These are 21 things that our advisors forget. Our advisors don't notice because they're under the radar. You only find out about them when these things happen to you, which by then it's too late. And let me give you an example of why it's important. Let's say that my daughter just graduated from college, and she gets a job 1,500 miles across the country. So I'm going to be a good father and get a little perk for being a good father. So I'm going to give her my 10-year-old car so I can go out and buy a new car. So when I give her the 10-year-old car, my wife says, well, you better bring that to the mechanic because she has to drive all the way across country to get to her new job. And I say, no. That car's been great for us for 10 years. We don't need to get it, to take it to a mechanic. All he's going to do is tell us all sorts of things are wrong with it and want to get it. And the wife says, well, if something's wrong, we need to get it fixed. I say, no, I just took it for a tune-up last month. It's running great. We don't need to take it for a checklist. So I don't take it for the checklist. And then my daughter takes off, and we get a call at 2 in the morning, and she's stuck in the middle of nowhere. So now what am I thinking? Oh my gosh, I should have got that checklist done. See, when you do a tune-up, they're looking simply to tune up the car. They're not looking for things that could actually go wrong. And now I've got to fret about, oh my gosh, how am I going to help my daughter find a mechanic? She's out there by herself. I'm worried about her safety. But we get that taken care of. We find a mechanic, and the mechanic says, you know what, if you just would have had a mechanic go through this, you would have caught that before you took off. Where am I sleeping tonight? My wife is going to have me for lunch, isn't she? See, I should have had them go through a checklist to look at all the things that could possibly break down. And just because they do the checklist, I'm in control. I don't have to get the things fixed that they point out. If it's air conditioning, I may say, hey, she can live without air conditioning. But if something's going to cause her danger, worn brakes, a tranny that could fall out, whatever, I'm going to get those things fixed. It's something I need to know. When I have that information, I'm in control. And that's what the 21-point checklist does for you and your finances. See, you all have good advisors. You have good attorneys, I hope. You have good bankers, good financial advisors, good insurance agents, good accountants. And they do pay attention to the big things. Because we all pay attention to the big things. But they miss the little things. These 21 things that the U.S. Treasury, the United States Library of Congress, the U.S. Consumer Protection Bureau, they all said Americans need the information in the 21-point checklist, and virtually no Americans have that information. See, the system is working against you. They keep the little things below radar so you don't know about them until it's too late, and then it costs you money, time. So you have good advisors, and they're catching the big things, but there are little things that are under radar that you don't miss that the 21-point checklist covers for you. So I'll give you some examples. These are 4 examples that aren't even on the 21-point checklist. This is in addition to the things that are in the 21-point checklist. Missing Social Security benefits on top of your normal Social Security retirement. Many people don't realize they can actually get 2 Social Security benefits in retirement, and they don't even know about it. Needlessly paying taxes on your Social Security income. Virtually nobody knows that they can opt out of paying taxes on their Social Security income. Did you know that insurance companies have snuck clauses in where they won't pay for the replacement cost of your roof anymore? So you may have to replace your roof and they'll only pay $2,000 out of the $12,000 bill. Did you know they've done that in the last couple of years? And most people don't even know, and it happened right under their noses. Did you know that banks aren't telling their customers about a simple form that will double their protection, and it's for free? Just all you have to do is ask the bank for it. So these are 4 things that aren't even covered in the 21-point checklist. Just think of the 21 things that are out there that people don't know about. And not knowing about it is a dangerous thing because they're going to sneak up on you. They fly in under radar, and by the time they happen to you, they throw and turn your life upside down. And by then, it's too late to take care of it. Just like my daughter going across country. See, the big things, you can see them coming from a mile away. Can see those things coming from 5 miles away. That's why everybody watches those things and takes care of those things. But it's the little things that can cause problems. If you remember the Challenger catastrophe, the Space Shuttle Challenger that blew up, what caused that? They had all the big things right, but it was a little $6 O-ring, out of this hundreds of millions of dollars of equipment and training, etc., that caused this tragic event. A $6 O-ring, the little thing that flew under the radar. And it's the same thing with our finances. See, the 21-point checklist puts you in control by knowing the 21 things and those other 4 little things that I showed you. By knowing that these things exist and then choosing what you want, because you're in control. You can choose what you want to fix and what you don't want to fix, but at least now you know, and you can make informed decisions. That's what puts you in control. That's what puts you in control of your finances. That's what puts you in control of your future. And it prevents ugly surprises from turning 30 or 40 years of hard work upside down. So don't get caught in a situation where something flew in under radar. These little 21 things and the other 4 things that I showed you that flew under radar and catch you by surprise and turn all your hard work upside down. Find out about it before it happens. Get your financial advisor to do a 21-point checklist for you as soon as possible.